What's poppin', y'all? This is your girl Sophia from my freaking bedroom floor, okay? We're moving, and so I'm selling every single thing that I've ever owned living in this apartment, and I'm gonna sit on the floor because we have nowhere else to sit. There's freaking one chair, a bed, and that's literally everything that we've got. So today I'm making this video from the floor, but anyways, let's get to the topic. Today I want to talk about my experience with getting my piercings, and I will show you guys a little bit closer what they look like, and I'm also going to talk about my experience. I'm also going to insert videos from when I actually got my ears pierced, so like kind of like what it looks like. So just for a little bit of context, my ears are pierced with a hollow needle. So what it is, it's actually just like a super thick needle that is hollow, duh. I'm going to show you my ears close up. So this is what I have on my right ear right now. If you guys, I don't know if you can see or not, but this piercing hole, like this little piercing here, it's not fully healed. Those take forever to heal. I believe it takes 6 months to heal. These guys are like 3 months old max. And so on my left ear, if you guys can see, this is like a regular piercing that I got when I was like 2 years old. And again, we've got the same exact thing. That's the same as on my other ear, but these ones are different. Those ones are studs. I have not taken them off because it feels like it would be the most painful thing to do, and it also feels like they haven't healed entirely, so I'm not touching those for now. So that's what they look like, and let me tell you about exactly what the process was and how the recovery went. If you want to save a coin, I would highly recommend getting an appointment with an apprentice, and the reason being is I got all of my piercings. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so 8 piercings done, which probably would have been, if you just pay like under $100 per piercing, it would already on its own would be like around $800. I literally got all of mine under $300. So I scheduled an appointment with an apprentice. The very first time I just went with like regular appointment with the lady that works there. It went super fast. I do want to say that it's not painful. At least in my experience, it's absolutely is not painful. I do want to give like a recommendation if you're scared of pain. First of all, come with your friends. I see a lot of people bring their friends, their moms, their like whatever, whoever from, I don't know, Minnesota or something. A lot of people kind of like need this like support of like their friends coming with them. Somehow it makes them feel better. So if that works for you, then that's amazing. Another thing I would recommend, do not watch them do it. So if you really are scared of the pain, do not take this like mirror that they give you and look at what they're doing. You can if you want to, and you actually have like 100% right if you want to make sure you're like watching what they're doing. You can absolutely ask for it if that's what you want. But if you have this like fear of needles and stuff like that, don't look at it if you do not want to freak out about anything. But overall, I want to say this process for me personally was absolutely painless. The only time I actually felt like anything, only with one of these two. I don't remember whether it was the top one or the bottom one, but one of these two I did feel it a little bit. The rest went just fine. If you're doing lobes, like this bottom part here, if you're doing lobes, they're absolutely painless. I got my very first one done with just like a regular person there. I believe she's the owner of the business. And each and every piercing after that, I've done with an apprentice. The big drawback with that, and that might be a complete no for you, is that you would have to wait. At least that was my personal case of like, if they are telling everybody that they are going to have an apprentice this week or this weekend or whatever, so many people are going to come most likely because it's basically half the price of the piercing, if not even like more than just half the price. So a lot of people want to get those, and the difference in quality, I don't know, I'm not a professional, but so what happened in my personal situation is the apprentice kind of comes there, they put like markers where they're going to pierce you, and then they bring the actual like person that's not an apprentice, that's like a boss there. They're gonna come and approve it and watch the apprentice pierce you. So it's like 100% safe and everything's great. So I didn't feel the slightest bit of inconfidence of a person who was piercing me, the apprentice. Definitely, if you want to save your coin, go and try to find some place where you can get pierced by an apprentice. If you want to save your time, don't go straight to the person who does it kind of like in a conveyor with it just stamp like one person per 3 minutes. So do that if you want to save time and you don't necessarily care about saving money. Okay, I talked about pain. I talked about, in my personal opinion, why get an apprentice piercing is better than just the regular one. Let's talk about the jewelry that they give you. So the place that I went to, they have already like their own jewelry. Do not buy your own jewelry. Most likely they will make you purchase jewelry from them because they just like want to make sure, like imagine a situation if somebody was coming with their own earring and they go there, they get their ear pierced and everything, and let's say it ends up irritating the ear and they end up like suing the piercing company saying, hey, like what the frick is going on, like I went there to get the piercing done, now look like what's happening with my ear. Obviously they don't want that to happen, so they want to make sure that they have like the finest like titanium, basically metals that are not going to cause any allergy. Usually that's titanium, that's usually what those little jewelry pieces would be made of. And usually they are silver plated and golden plated. They probably will give you a selection of things that they have, and you're just going to choose the one that you really like, and they're just gonna put that in. And then once your piercing is fully healed, just like for example like I did with most of mine, you take it off and you put whatever earring you want to put on, so as long as you're waiting till it's fully healed. So make sure that you don't buy your own jewelry, because I was very tempted to get my own and bring it with me. Just so you know, most likely, more likely than not, you will not be allowed to bring your own jewelry. So just go there, they will give you the selection, you choose whatever you want and you go with that. Let's talk about the after process of when your ears are healing. It depends on the part of the ear where you're piercing. Lobes are super fast to heal. I believe it takes like 9 weeks, so it's basically like 2 months or a month and a half for them to heal. I really felt like my second lobes, I feel like they were fully healed literally like on 7th week. I think I was already changing jewelry, but you probably more likely than not, you do want to wait till they're fully healed if you do not want to put any infection. Once you're done with your piercing, you need to purchase something that's called piercing aftercare. I think it's a saline solution, but I was personally told don't improvise with the way you're going to take care of your new piercing with, I don't know, like bleach water or like whatever people come up with these days, like alcohol or whatever, like sanitizer or something. So you don't want to do that, because that again might irritate the process and it might make the whole healing process much longer than what it needs to be. Just purchase piercing solutions specifically, and I think most piercing places are selling them already, so you can just get them there. You're supposed to put it on your like piercing and ears every single day, once a day. I believe it's just once a day, yeah. And I think you're supposed to do anytime you shower and you get out, you're supposed to like blow dry basically your piercings. I know for sure that you do not want to prolong the time for your ears to heal, because this is a painful process. Once you get your piercings out, and by the way, I would not recommend you getting more than like 2 or 3 at the same time, or like one day basically. I would wait, like go get your little like piercings done, like 2 or 3 of them. If you want more, come back in a couple of weeks, because in the process you might feel like, oh, like I'm feeling just great, nothing's hurting, nothing's tingling, nothing's feeling funny or weird, but then like you come home a couple hours later, your ears will start bleeding more likely than not. I had this thing, especially I think with these ones, were the most painful in terms of not the process was like pretty much painless. The afterwards is the most painful, because I just had this non-stop pain in my ear for days. I had to take painkillers for a couple of these days because it was just too much. I could not sleep on my side, so you have to either get a piercing pillow, which is basically like a donut shaped looking pillow where it's like kind of lay down and your ear is in the hole so it doesn't touch the actual pillow, and the other ear is obviously in the ear so it doesn't touch anything either. Or like I did, you just have to learn to sleep on your back, which I did, and I'm so grateful that I did, because for a couple of days it was a little torture. I hate sleeping on my back. It's like the worst thing. I'm the type of person, I sleep on my face, on my stomach, or like basically anything but my back. And it was really difficult for me to sleep on my back for the first probably 3 to 4 days. After that it was fine. After that I actually felt so comfortable sleeping on my back. I was surprised with myself. But know that as well, that you will need to do something about not sleeping on your sides, because it will prolong the process of healing. It will make the pain worse. It's just, you don't want to do that. So after a period of a couple of weeks, your ears kind of get used to everything. Things starting to look better and things start to heal. And this is when you kind of like, you don't want to rush to putting new earrings on, your jewelry. Just wait till the healing process finishes. You can always look up how long it takes for helix piercing to heal, how long it takes for a lobe, whatever they're called. You can always look it up or ask the person who actually pierced you. So do not change your jewelry until later, because I promise you it's not the most pleasant process. But that's pretty much it. That's everything that I wanted to talk about today regarding my earring stack. So if you have any questions, please drop them down in the comments, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.